Hey guys, we're back here again today, and today is a deckless day. Some of y'all know I've been doing engine works, how engines work, fire engines and psychic engine so far videos over on the middle of the week on Wednesday. So if y'all go check that out, that'd be great. I'll leave a link to my latest video in the description. But let's get right into this video. I think it's going to be a big one after May. So let's get right into it. Starting off, we'll start off with 3 Volcanion, and this Volcanion is awesome. Fire starter for 1 fire energy says search your deck for a fire energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. If this is your first turn, search your deck. If this is your first turn going second, search your deck for 3 fire energy instead and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Either way, shuffle your deck. And then its second attack for 2 fire energy, Fervish Explosion. 50 plus. If you have 4 fire energy or more in play, this attack does 60 more damage. So this attack does a base of 50, and then if you have a total of 4 fire energies in play, which is not hard to do, it does 110, which is very good. It takes out things like Zapdos and stuff like that. But anyway, we start out with this. We really want to start with that Flare starter if you're going second, and then that's just a great little attack to get your main guys powered up, your main attackers powered up. But anyway, start out with 3 of those. Argument could be made to start us up to 4, but I like running 3 of things for some reason. So we'll start out with 3 of those, and then we'll get on to the main attacker, and it is Charizard and Reshiram GX. And this guy is massive, 270 HP. Weakness to water, of course. First attack, 30 plus, 1 fire, 1 colorless energy, outrage, and it does 10 more damage for each damage counter you have on him. So if you get retaliated against, you're going to be hitting for a lot of damage if they don't get a 1-hit knockout. Second attack, 4 fire energies, or 3 fire energies, 1 colorless, 230 damage. This Pokemon can't use this attack on the next turn. No big deal. Ho-Oh and Buzzwole had this problem, and they didn't. They see plenty of play. Next attack, GX attack, is 3 fire energies plus. If I remember correctly, it does 200 damage, and then if you have like 2 more fire energies attached to it, I can't read Japanese. If you have 2 more fire energies attached to it, it does 100 extra damage. So 300 damage total, knocking out basically Well-Lord Tag Team. That's pretty much the only thing it's for. But that's still, I mean, that's a massive amount of damage, and 200 for 3 energies is awesome, with no downsides besides it being your only GX attack for the game. Just look at Blaziken GX, who has 210, but you have to discard 2 fires, and it just gets really awkward after that. After that, we have 1 Victini Prism Star, and that guy is, you're going to wind up with a lot of energies in the discard, so use him to get them all back while taking a big 1-hit knockout. Next up, we have 1 Oranguru for a little bit of draw, and honestly, in my testing, that doesn't come up very often, not as often as it did in the Ho-Oh GX deck that's similar to this. So, that may be something that could be cut later on. And then, to help get your engine going, 3 Tapu Lele. And that keeps you from dead drawing pretty much any time. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you don't need to run that many. 2 is fine. And everybody's like, I'll run 1. Sometimes it gets prized, but it's okay. Well, in my experience, 3 is a good number. If you don't need it, discard it. If you do need it, bench it. You can also Kiawe onto the thing, and it does a good amount of damage for 4 fire energies. Or you can use it to get that game-winning Guzma. You know, you don't look in your discard and be like, oh man, I've only got 1 Lele left and it's prized. Or, you know, that hardly ever comes up when you're running 3. I know it's a lot, and it means you're going to start with it a lot, and that's fine because it has 1 retreat cost, and so you can get it out of the active easy. But anyway, next up we have our supporter line, and we're going with the new Welder. It's 4 of these. Oh look, I have one printed in English. Let me get that one on front. 4 of these, 4 Welder, attach 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Then draw 3 cards. That card is busted. Especially with Ho-Oh Reshiram. You put him in the active, say you're going turn 2. You've got 2 fire energies and a Welder, 3 fire energies and a Welder in hand. Attach return, Welder onto Tag Team, onto Reshiram, Charizard, and you're swinging for 200 damage with that GX attack. So super busted. Next up, we have 2 Lilies, because sometimes you don't get that Welder, and a Lily is awesome turn 1 supporter. Next, we have 2 Cynthia, Shuffle draw is good. Mainly we're using Welder for draw because it allows you to draw 3 cards. That's not a lot, I understand that. But in my experience, you don't need it. Because once you got Welder and you've got those energies in hand, that's all you have to do with this deck is just stack energies on, and that's what Welder does. So you pretty much want to be playing one of those every turn. Next up we have 3 Guzma, and that's just for dragging Pokemon out. Everybody knows what that does. It switches Pokemon from the active of my choice, or your choice, from the active to the bench. You know, you drag up that pick a ROM and knock it out with a Charizard. I mean, it's amazing. And then next up we have 3 Kiaways, and that's what those Ho-Ohs are really, those, not Ho-Ohs, Tapu Leles are really for. So for grabbing that Kiawe, turn 1, allowing you to attach up to 4 fire energies from your deck, and you don't, if you don't miss that, you've got such an overwhelming start on them guys. Even Pick a ROM can't keep up with that. And next we have 1 Acerola, because Ho-Oh Reshiram does get damaged. It does give up 3 prizes. So with Acerola, you just pick him back up, and hopefully you've got something powered up, and you're ready to roll from there. And now we'll move on to the items. 4 Ultra Ball, good number to have, always, right? Let you search out any evolution, any Pokemon. All you have to do is discard 2 cards, no big deal. Next, 3 Nest Ball, allows you to search your deck for basic Pokemon and stick it onto your bench. And then 1, as far as Pokemon search, 1 Mysterious Treasure, and that is solely for Tapu. Oops, sorry about the camera. That is solely for Tapu Lele. I used to run 4 Nest Ball, but then that only left me 4 options of getting out Tapu Lele. Half the time I was using it to get a Reshiram and Charizard. So with this, you only have to discard 1 card, and you can get your Psychic. It's super good. And if you don't need it, you just throw it away. I mean, it's better than Nest Ball, but you need Nest Ball, you know, because you have to get out your other basics. So it's definitely a one of in these decks. Next up, we have 2 Acrobike, a little bit of speed. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Keep 1, throw the other one away. This is how you power up Welder. 2 Fiery Flint. Discard 2 cards, search your deck for 4 fire energies, and then that allows you to have fire energies in your hand for every time you need to use a Welder. So, and this is how you get them back out of the discard with this Flame Crystal. And this says put 3 fire energy cards from your discard back into your hand. So basically you have a Welder in hand, you have a Flame Crystal, you slap that Flame Crystal down, you've got 3 energy cards back in your hand, no problem. Help get around that ability of Reshiram and Charizard, we have 2 Switch. And then for damage modifiers, we have 3 Choice Band. And couple other one-ofs here. Rescue Stretcher, sometimes you just have to get them back out of the discard. A Pokemon Communications, this is super good in the beginning. Say you've got 2 Tapu Leles in hand and an Oranguru. You start with Oranguru, or you start with Tapu Lele, probably. Start with Tapu Lele, use Pokemon Communications, swap the Oranguru for a Reshiram, Tapu Lele again for a Kiawe on a Reshiram, and you're ready to go. And then we have 1 Field Blower. There it goes. 1 Field Blower. Let us, you know, get rid of everybody else's stuff. Viridian Forest, whatever it may be. And then next we have 1 Heat Factory Prism Star. And this card is essential in every fire deck. Discard a fire energy card and draw 3 cards. I mean, you can't beat that. There's a new Salazzle app that does the same thing. It's discard a fire energy card, draw 3 cards. But I haven't been able to find room to fit it into this style of deck. But I'm working on it, and we'll see. And next up we have our energy cards, and we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 fire energy. Now that is low for every fire deck I have ever played. So I would probably consider cutting some things for it to get me back up to 14 fire energies, but the way it's been playing has been working super well, so I'm not sure that's even necessary. But this guy right here is going to be big after May. Just keep an eye out for him. Also, he's probably going to be really expensive because it's Reshiram and Charizard, both on the same card. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this deck list video. If you like it, give me a like. If you really like it, give me a sub. And we'll see you next weekend.
Shut up and sit down.